This self-assessment was designed to help you clarify your level of preference or passion around the 6 leadership levers. Now, we all have a basic awareness of our preferences, but sometimes what is not clear to us is how one category compares to another. For example, if you were to ask me if I liked ice cream, I would give you a resounding yes. If you ask me which flavors I like, I would probably say I like most every flavor. While I do like a variety of flavors, I have found that when I'm faced with a choice between strawberry and vanilla, most of the time I pick vanilla. And when faced with a choice between chocolate and vanilla, I pick vanilla. When given the choice between different flavors, it's easy to see my preference is vanilla. In our self-assessment, we presented you with 13 different situations where there were 6 different choices about what you would most likely do and what you would be least likely to do. We found that using this technique, we can effectively measure your preferences. Because there are no bad choices, we could be very transparent in the assessment and still have highly reliable data. What I mean by transparent is that as you completed the assessment, you probably became aware of a pattern in your choices. Sometimes when people recognize a pattern in their preferences when taking the assessment, they try to avoid choosing the same lever on future questions. This only makes the results less valid. I've found that these people are well aware of their strong preference for one lever over another. If you game the assessment in such a way, you might be a bit skeptical about your results. If that's the case for you, I'd recommend that you rely more on your personal intuition. To help you gain more insights over your preferences, we took your raw scores and calculated percentile scores based on norms from a global sample of thousands of others. The percentile score has a range from 0 to 100. It simply gives you a ranking of your preferences for each lever compared to the norm. For example, if you had a score at the 90th percentile on a lever, it simply means 89% of those in our database have a lower preference for that lever than you do. Not only is your preference high, but relative to others, it is very high. Only 9% of the people in the database have a higher preference for that lever than you do. Also, be aware there's nothing wrong with having a low percentile score on any of the levers. A score at the 10th percentile, for example, basically means your preference for utilizing that particular lever is very low. In effect, if given a choice, you may tend to avoid utilizing that lever. Our research indicates that our preference assessment achieves the same level of predictability as other well-validated psychological assessments. Your preference on this assessment positively correlates with competence or ability. It makes sense that we are more skilled at those behaviors we prefer. While there's usually a positive correlation between your preference on the survey and your capability or skill level, don't assume that both are at the same level. What I hope you get out of this assessment is simply a better sense of your preferences and passion for utilizing each of the leadership levers. In developing a new skill, we know that working on improving a skill that you are passionate about creates additional energy and motivation. In essence, it makes improvement more fun. Working on improving something where you have no passion creates a drag and makes improvement hard work. I challenge you to discover your passion and develop it into something extraordinary. There's no question that having an extraordinary strength will help you stand out from others and enable you to be more successful in your career. Best wishes.